We're back on 11 of the last 20, and it's time to dive right into the top 3 boys basketball players on our list. Next up, this Eagle flew higher than all the rest, becoming one of the most dangerous three-point shooters in the LL League.
Number 3, Cocalico's Tucker Lesko, boys all-time leading scorer for the Eagles.
Kind of run out of adjectives as far as to describe, Tucker.
First word that comes to mind is shooter, obviously.
Tucker Lesko. Whoa!
Tucker Lesko was such a primetime player.
Tucker is the best shooter I've ever seen in high school basketball.
Oh, you have got to be kidding me.
That's insane. I mean, that's mind-boggling.
Pretty obvious that he grew up in a basketball house. His IQ is off the charts.
I think most local basketball fans have enjoyed and appreciated Tucker. He played, even still in college, just plays the game the right way.
His mechanics are so repeatable because he practiced so often.
So let's go for 3, and he got it.
He just had such a quick release. He could shoot from so far out. He'd take 1 or 2 dribbles across half court, and he could pull up, and he would shoot it like a normal shot. And I just always remember watching other coaches when he would make a really deep three. You would watch them, and they'd be so mad, and they'd be screaming. And
Sniper range.
And the guys on the defense are just like, what is this kid doing? He's shooting a shot that he shouldn't be shooting, and he makes it.
He's redefining three-point range in high school, man. That is just insane.
When we got off the bus in Denver, we would find Tucker right then and just defend him right then, because you had to defend him in the parking lot. That's what his range was.
We like to call him a rule breaker. Like, he's not the rule breaker, but we had to change the rules for Tucker when we prepared for him. We tell people to pick you up 1 foot outside the three-point line. Well, the rules change when Tucker's involved, because that's not going to be good enough. He would pull up from pretty much anywhere.
And a lot of these threes that he made weren't right on the line. These were legitimately 3 and 4 feet beyond the line. So this kid, he could score from anywhere.
As I've told others, Tucker had a lot of ability, and if he really, really wanted to, he could have scored more points than he did. But Tucker was a winner. He always has been. He still is in college.
It was just fun to watch him play all the time. And, he went on to Hobart and holds the record for most threes made in a game, most threes made in a season, most threes made in a career, in a college now.
Brings out Lesko, three-pointer all the way.
Tucker Lesko! Single game 3-point record!
I mean, just perfectly illustrates what a great shooter he was and what a great player he was. Just a great kid, super kid.
Number 2, Manheim Central's Taylor Funk, Barron's all-time leading scorer.
We had heard about this kid coming through the system at Manheim Central, and everybody was wondering, who he was, what could he do, and once he came onto the scene as a freshman, by the time he got to his sophomore year, he really became the face of Manheim Central basketball. There's a long 3 from Funk.
Hey, he said, hey, this is how you shoot from the outside.
I was the varsity coach, having to coach against Taylor for 1 season, and he made it pretty much impossible to draw up defenses to defend him.
Again, they're going down low to Taylor Funk, and he is just going to dominate down low.
He was just so skilled. He's so long. His length just made it. You could have the perfect defender in the perfect place on him, and it didn't matter. He could just shoot right over the top of you.
Three-point shot is good. The big fella. How you doing? 32 points for Taylor Funk.
From the word go, when he was a freshman, he could score from anywhere on the floor. Basically, when he walked in the gym, he was in range. But there were so many other things that made Taylor special. Taylor was incredible with the ball in his hands. He could find open teammates. He really made his teammates better. He was one of those guys that could kind of do everything.
Obviously, with his size, he could just dominate inside.
Got the bucket and he's fouled.
Boy, they're making Funk work for everything.
But that was only part of his game. I mean, he could step outside and just bury three-pointers at will.
Funk turns and fires and hits the 3.
Oh, and he gives him the lead.
And you don't see big guys who are able to shoot the 3-ball like he does, which you see now at St. Joseph's too. He's gotten off to such a great start at St. Joseph's, shooting that outside ball there too.
Funk with a 3 on the way is good.
I think one of the biggest things he did to really help himself was he got out of Lancaster to play in the summer and play AU and play against some top competition. Then when he came back to playing locally, everything slowed down for him, and you saw how dominant he really was.
Oh, nice block from Taylor Funk.
We were actually playing Mannheim Central the night that he broke the all-time scoring record at Central. He had the ball out front, and he did like a fake dribble handoff, and then took it to the corner and did a step-back three, and our defender was right there, had a hand right in his face. And he made it anyway, and that kind of perfectly illustrates just how good he was. It didn't matter what you did defensively, it just came down to whether or not he made the shot, and he made a ton of them.
His demeanor, his class, his character helped make the program what it was.
Number 1, Garden Spot's Curtis Waltman, second all-time leading scorer in boys LL League history.
Is this Garden Spot team better than last year's? This is a team last year that went to the first round of the state playoffs before bowing out. Of course, led by Curtis Waltman, only a junior, and he's already surpassed 1,000 points for his career.
Wow. Curtis was the best high school basketball player.
Waltman for 3, got it again.
Probably the best, if not one or two of the best that I've ever seen.
Strong for the 2, and Waltman answers right back at the other end.
Curtis was one of the most impressive scorers I've ever seen, and I'm not a huge fan of scoring points. That's the only thing I watch, but with him, I mean, I was.
Washable leads it to Waltman, and Waltman lays it in.
Go. Oh my!
And a foul to boot.
Washable takes a tumble, but what a play!
He was like a video game character. I've never seen anyone that could score at the rate he could.
Waltman around Lance, scoop shot, rolls in.
Boy, what a talent this kid is.
Curtis was very quick. Curtis could shoot. Curtis could get to the basket. If you look at his stats alone, just his scoring statistics, pretty remarkable.
Waltman looking to work it inside, stops, and banks it in.
Waltman's so dangerous. You don't know whether he's going to just take that extra step and blow by you, or pull up, in that case, hit the bank.
This kid played at 100 miles an hour for 4 quarters. He was not bashful about shooting the ball. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. He liked to shoot, but when he would shoot, he would deliver too.
Waltman for 3.
Oh, you just got to be feeling it when you can launch it from there.
To score 60 in a game, we often talk about 1,000 points in your career, and Curtis scored over 1,000 points in one season, which is insane. But anytime he was on the court, he had the potential to score 35, 40, 45 points. A nightmare to try to match up against.
Waltman leading the charge. And Curtis Waltman with the left hand.
As scores go, there's not many better.
Waltman drives a lane, and he's got it.
Tough drive. So there you have it, Garden Spot's Curtis Waltman, one of the best boys basketball players to ever hit the hardwood in the LL League, and number 1 on our list. Thanks so much for joining us today on 11 of the Last 20. I'm Chad Landers. Come back next time as we dive deep into a new sport and start the countdown once again to see who's number 1